Okay, well, I'll see if I can reverse this afterwards because I need to. Maybe if I do the back camera. No, there's no back camera on your laptop. Anyways, I've been astral projecting all day, and I want to explain it to people because I think I finally have a deep understanding of what it means, and people might be confused on what it is, so I would like to explain it. Anyways, so there's two types of astral projection. Um, I believe. I'm gonna call it the kite method. And the bubble method. Okay, so um, the kite method, I realized happened to me when I was asleep. I believe, and I don't know this to be factual, but this is just based on both my experience and the experience of my life. I believe everybody astral projects whether they realize it or not while they're asleep. Um, it's very different than Insidious. I'll get to that in a minute. It's a different type it's a completely different type of thing than what's in Insidious. The method is different, the idea is different, what's happening is different, your consciousness is different, it's completely different. I don't know if you've ever had dreams about places that exist to you, whether it's your own house, your grandparents' house, your school, a family business. The main ones for me are my house, my grandparents' house, and a family business. When I have dreams about those places, I don't know if you've noticed, but you don't really leave the area. It's like within maybe a mile radius, and you can't really get very further. But if it's a place you go back and visit often, sometimes you can get further. Sometimes you're able to go further and further, and when you start becoming aware of that dream and you start realizing, like, okay, what's past this block? What's past this? Even if in your mind you've never been there, if you start allowing yourself to move further and further, I believe that in itself is astral projection. I think of when I first started expanding and intentionally going further. This is talking about astral projecting in your dreams. The astral projecting where you're awake is completely different, which I'll get into that in a second as well. Um, when I would have dreams about my parents' business, it really, okay, so I really couldn't, I could get from my house to the business and the business to my house, and but I couldn't really, which my the business was, let's say my house was west from the business, and then the business was kind of like more east. I couldn't go further east um for a long time, for a really long time, and until one of these times I decided to go to Sonic, which was about two stoplights away from the business in reality. And I remember when I decided to go to Sonic, I realized I could actually keep walking. So now I can pretty much astral project while I'm asleep through my entire city. I can't do it when I'm awake yet, but I can pretty much astral project throughout my entire home city. Um, I can mostly places I'm familiar with. You have to start with places that are familiar to you. If you go to places that you don't know very well, it can get kind of messy, it can get kind of confusing, it can get kind of um, scary, especially if you're asleep. Because where your consciousness is it's in a very distorted place because your consciousness is very um, open to suggestion. It's very vulnerable. It's not like Insidious. You are not leaving your body. You're still attached to your body. Like, for instance, if I touch this pillow, um, my body's right here. My hand's right here. It's still attached to my body. My hand has not left my body. It's still attached to it. I've just extended it to touch the pillow. It's the same thing with astral projection. You're just extending your consciousness and awareness. You're not leaving your body. Your body is just extending it. Your consciousness lives inside your body, and that's where it's most comfortable. That's its home. Um, your body is where your conscious lives. You can extend it further than your body, but it never leaves your body. It's never detached from your body. So keeping that in mind, these are the two ways you can extend it. So one is the bubble method. This is your body. Um, what you can do is you can basically decide that you're going to astral project within a certain set of bounds. This is astral projecting while you're awake, again, not while you're asleep. So you're right here. Okay, let's say this is the first time I did it with the bubble method. Here's what happened. So I'm here in my room. My parents' room is right here. My